and then he was setting garbage cans on fire. That's no. If you guys want me to do a story time about how somebody that was crazy that they hired set the garbage can on fire, please comment below, because this is just gonna blow you guys' mind what I'm about to say. What is up, guys? It's your girl Aaliyah, back with another story time again. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, please, because it helps me a lot. I basically do all types of videos now because I have alopecia. I used to focus on hair stuff, but now I do pranks, reactions. What else do I do? I try to do motivational speaking here and there and things of that nature. So if you like positivity and just a little fun and a little randomness, I'm the person for you. Shayla, Aaliyah, please don't copyright me, yeah. Alright guys, so I had to take my aligners out for this story time because I've been waiting so long to do this, and I've been waiting so long to do story time, but I was scared because it was fresh and I don't want to get sued by anybody, so I'm not going to say the name of the company that I work for. Just know I don't even want to say like what type of store it was either, because no. Listen, I'm just gonna tell you the worst work experience I ever had, and yeah, like this, it went left. Like, it went left so fast. I had to throw on my wig and take out my liners for this because I was just like, I remember that. I was like, no, I never did my story time on that. I'm gonna do my story time now. But we're just gonna get right into this video, okay? So I'm just gonna give you guys some background. Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys some background so you guys know, like, if like what type of work I was, how long I was with the company, and yeah. So I started working at that job. It was my first job ever. I started working there when I was like 17. I started working there, right? Yeah. February of 2018. I got the job. I started working there, and it was a different manager that was there, and the store turned over like so many times. Like, I went through I went through 5 different managers while I worked there, and I only worked there for 2 years. So the store turned over a lot. The store was not doing good at all, and that was basically like the worst store. Yeah, that was like one of the worst stores that they had in New Jersey. So it was always turning over. I always got a new manager. It was like new manager. So we're just gonna start it where things started going left, because yeah. So when I was working there, I was always that person no matter what. Like, even when I was in school, my mom hated that, and now I realize why she hated it. But when I was working there, no matter what, if they asked me to come in and work, I'd be like, yeah, I could work, as long as it like wasn't during school hours, obviously. So I would work all the time, like all the time. I mainly try to work during the weekends because I wasn't in school during the weekends. And my mom was like, if you're gonna work, make sure that your grades stay like good or whatever. So it's like, all right. So I mainly work weekends, and sometimes after school they'd be catching me coming in. Like, I would catch myself coming in. I'm just like, dang, like. But it was just like, I know that you can say no, you don't want to come in, but at the same time it was like, I don't want to be mean, and I want to be that person that they know like is reliable, like, you know what I'm saying? And the whole point of me working at this place was because I'm gonna just say I wanted to go to the pharmacy because I would help with my background. It would help like for my resume. So like when I want to apply for internships, like I already worked in a pharmacy. So yeah. So I'm trying to think. I want to go in order. So I wasn't having problems with any managers. Most of the managers, they liked me. They said I was a hard worker. I always got promoted. When I started working there, I was making $9, and then when I left, I was making $12 an hour. So I went from 9 to 12. I always got promoted. I always got at least $1 and some change of a promotion. It's not that much because now I make more than that, but listen, for me, when they were like, oh, I was like, oh, okay, like it's not minimum wage, so that took the job. But yeah, I never had a problem with any of the managers. I was always on time, always was a hard worker. I always try to make the lines move quick. Yeah, like I never really called out. Like I had to be sick. Like I had gotten the flu one time and I called out, and that was probably like the only time I really called out. Or if I was sick, if my family was sick, or if something happened, I would call out. That was the only time. Now we got this new manager after this one manager left because he was getting threatened by one of the coworkers, and that coworker got fired. That's so bad. But yeah, he got threatened and he left after he got threatened, and the coworker got, like, my coworker got fired. I wouldn't even call him my coworker because nobody was feeling him, and I knew I wasn't feeling him for a reason. I was just like, he's weird. And then he was setting garbage cans on fire. That's not. If you guys want me to do a story time about how somebody that was crazy that they hired set the garbage can on fire, please comment below, because this is just gonna blow you guys' mind what I'm about to say. So I don't remember exactly months or dates when this new manager came, because it was so often that we got a new manager. But he came, he started working there, and I don't know why, but I was not feeling him either. I was like, there's something about him I don't like. And then usually when I say that, people notice that there's a reason. Like I end up being right. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but usually I'm right. So I said to my coworker, and I'm gonna just say her name because she watches my YouTube video. So I said to her, I was like, yeah, I don't like him. Like, I'm just not feeling him. Like, I don't know what it is about him, but I don't like him. Like, oh, it was 6 managers. My bad. It was actually 6 managers because I just remembered one other manager because I was saying how I like that manager better than him. And yeah, so this manager was coming in to fix our store because this was like the worst store in New Jersey, and he had a record for flipping over stores, and how basically he was like the best thing since sliced bread. And we're just like, a whole bunch of people would come to our store and say that they're gonna fix it, and they never did it. But whatever. So then he comes, and it's okay, I guess, but then he's trying to, like, he was basically making it seem like this job was, like, I don't want to say it was so important, because of course a job's gonna be, like, if that's somebody's career, it's gonna be important to somebody, you know what I'm saying? But he was trying to make it seem like it just had to, I don't know, like, he was just doing the most, doing like way too much. And yeah, like when he came, he was like, yeah, I want to meet everybody and have a talk with them. I want to get to know everybody and everybody's personality, so I could know. Basically, he wants to know who the good workers were and who the bad workers were, because he was going to start firing people. So did he fire anybody? I don't remember if he really fired anybody, because I wasn't really caring, because I knew I got my work done. Yeah. But let's just fast forward to when trouble happened. So in December, my aunt had passed away, right? I'm gonna block off his number. I didn't have the messages in my phone, so I had to get them from my iPad, but I most definitely have them. In December, my aunt had passed away, and I didn't tell people right off the jump because it was like, it wasn't expected. So like, I was very much like, I was keeping to myself, so I didn't really tell anybody at work. And then when I did tell people, it was after the fact I already told my boss. So like I said, I was cool with one of my co-workers, and her name was Hilda. So that was the only person like I was close to, that we could say I was close to. So Hilda, like, if something happened like that was an inconvenience to me, she was one of the like supervisors. So if something happened, I would tell her. But when my aunt had passed away, I didn't really tell her because it was just like, one, I didn't really want to talk about it because I was still in shock, and then two, it was just like, I need to tell the store manager so he knows why I won't be coming in. So this is the day after my aunt had passed away, and well, this is like, she passed away, and then me and my family we were up from when we found out to the next day, like probably like 6 o'clock in the morning. So this is still like a couple hours after we found out. So he said, hey, this Thursday is there any way you can stop by the store for like 10 to 15 minutes? I'll punch you in for those 10 minutes. I want to have a store meeting. Coronavirus! Excuse me. So I said, I'm not sure because I have school and my aunt just died last night, so I'm not trying to plan. So I'm trying to plan, and I did not type this right. This is how you know I was like. So I'm trying to plan, figure this week out. What time did you plan on having the meeting? He said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences. I didn't text back after that. Then he said, what time would you be able to come? I can try to work around when you're available for those few minutes. Now, yeah, he said my condolences, and like, what else can he say? But he didn't say, oh, if you need to take off, do that. He didn't say any of that. So that just threw me off. Okay, this isn't even the worst part. So then I said I get out of school at 3:45, so I don't get home usually. So I don't get home usually until around 4:30ish. Also, I'm sorry, but I can't work next weekend because of the wake and the funeral. Please don't fire me. The fact that I had to throw in the please don't fire me, because if you didn't come in, he took that serious, so he would try to fire you over that. But you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Watch. Me reading these messages just made me mad again, because the fact that somebody had passed away and I had to say please don't fire me just shows the amount of fear he put in for if you canceled work no matter what. Like, and it was just crazy because he would be on the females like that. Like, I don't want to, no, it was sexist. He would be, if it was me or Hilda that I would try to call out, he would be so like, oh no, you guys can't do that, like, please come in. Like, he would give us excuses and tell us that we should come in. Like, I was sick before. He was like, I had the thing too, so he was like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're sick, and he bought me these. So I guess that made it better, because he told me to come in even though I was sick. Like, I'm not trying to spread my germs around in a pharmacy and get other people sick too, because it's mainly old people that come in or whatever. So then I said, yeah, please don't fire me. He said, no, of course you won't get fired. You need off on December 14th and 15th, right? I said, yes, please. He said, a funeral, I understand. You can't predict that. That's fine. I'll try to find coverage. I said, thank you so much. I'm sorry. No, he said, no problem. Sorry for your loss. So he said, this Friday and Saturday you're fine, right? Also, you're good for this Sunday on the 8th and Friday the 13th, right? I said, this upcoming weekend I'm fine. I'm not sure about the 13th because I said I'm not sure about the 13th, but my mom is making plans for the funeral, so I'll ask her. He said, okay, when do you think you can confirm the 13th by? Please let me know ASAP. I said, by the end of today, I should be able to get her her answer. So he's asking me all these questions, and while he's asking me these questions, I remember we were in the like middle of driving. We were going back and forth to get different things for like the funeral. Like, we were going to Home Goods to get frames for pictures. What else? We were just all over the place. We were driving everywhere. We were seeing my little cousin, making sure he was okay. It was just all over the place. And then he's over here asking me about times that I can come into work. Like, he didn't ask me if I needed time off or anything. Let me keep going. He said thanks, because I told him I'll give him an answer by the end of the day. I said, no problem again, I'm sorry. He said, it's okay, don't worry. And he said, and for this Thursday, would you be able to come in by 4:30, you think? It'll only be 15 minutes. I said, yes, I could come 4:30. He said, thanks. I said, hey, I just asked my mom, and I do need off Friday also for our morning practices we do. He said, so those 3 days, right? I said, yes. He said, all right. And we ended up not even doing it, but in Jamaican culture, if you're Jamaican, you know, when somebody passes away, you mourn for a certain amount of nights and stuff like that. But like, we were so like out of it that we didn't even do it, because like everybody was so like distraught because it was so random and it shouldn't have happened. Like, And it's crazy because, yeah, I went back to work, but I went back to work because I needed something to keep my mind off of the whole thing. So me going back to work was like not my way of coping, but my way of keeping my mind off of it, because I was just, oh, like, that's that. And it took my mom to say it. Oh, you know what, let me keep just reading this, because, and then he basically told me I didn't have to go to the meeting or whatever. So he said, don't worry about coming tomorrow, it's fine. I said, okay. I said, hey, Muhammad, I know I'm being a pain, but I can't come the week of Christmas because I have to, okay. So I shouldn't even have to explain that, but, like, I wanted to spend time with my family and stuff like that. And I said, I just wanted to tell you now so you could find coverage. I'm sorry. After this, I won't be calling out, though. It's just very last minute, unplanned, because if this didn't happen, I would be coming. Like, and he knows that, because no matter what, I would always be the person that they call for if somebody called out. Like, I would be the person. So it wasn't like I was always the person that always called out. No, I never would do that unless I really, really, really had to. So he said, but you said you were available during that time. You need the entire week. I said, yeah, I thought I would be, but my family wants basically to spend time together, whatever. My thing is, the stuff that I put was personal stuff that I shouldn't even had to tell him, because somebody passed away and the person was very close to me. Yes, it wasn't my dad, it wasn't my mom, but at the same time, that was somebody that was very close to me. And you didn't even ask me if I needed, you didn't offer time off, because they could give you like a month. Like, let me just keep going. Then he says, I can't approve an entire week off during the week of Christmas. It's the busiest time of the year. No one is allowed to have that week off or take vacation that time. It's entirely too busy. You have to tell your family that you are scheduled to work that week. I can't give you that week off. Sorry. So I asked him for the week off so I could be with my family, because my family member just died unexpectedly, and I was very, very close to my aunt. And he says that automatically when I got that text message from him, I was working at the store. He was supposed to be working that day too, because I remember, because I was saying I was going to ask him when he came in, but it was he wasn't in yet, and I was over here putting up like sale signs or whatever, and I'm just like, okay. So I texted him, and right when I got that message, like, my blood was boiling. I made sure I texted my mom, and I was like, no, I didn't even text her, I called her. I sent her the screenshot of what he said, and I was like, Mom, no, did I send that screenshot? No, I read it there, because I was like, no, I need you to hear it word for word, because I don't want to say anything wrong and make it seem like I'm adding in something, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, Ma, my boss said this, and this, because she told me to ask off, and I was like, I'm going to get fired if I ask off. I kept saying that throughout this whole entire thing with the whole funeral thing. I was like, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. And my mom was like, no, you're not. They can't do that. You can't do that. And so I told her, and the reason I'm telling my mom is because, well, regardless, I would tell my mom, but the main reason I was telling my mom is because she works in HR, and she knows if something is the right way of doing something or the wrong way of doing something. So I told her, and she was like, that doesn't sound right. So I stopped putting up signs. Yes, I did. I stopped putting up signs, and I went to the break room, and I went to look for the, is it the ethics line? I think it is the ethics line. So I could talk to them and talk to HR and tell them what was going on, because that's not right. You don't just, after somebody tells you that one of their family members passed away and that you're really close to them, you don't tell them that they can't take off, because that's not right. That's not right. So my mom called HR and basically complained, and they were basically saying that I have to speak for myself because technically I am over 18, but I kind of didn't want to speak because it was like we keep having to bring up the fact that my aunt passed away, and I didn't want to speak on that. It was just like, why can't this just like all happen correctly? Like, she passed away, why can't I just get the time off that I'm asking for? Because like I need a more, you know what I'm saying? And then I feel like it was my fault at the same time, because no matter what, I was always at that store's beck and call. Like if they called me like, oh, can you come in? I would be like, yes. I was doing 12-hour shifts, 14-hour shifts with just barely a 30-minute break, because when they would call me over the loudspeaker, I would come out and I would help. And that was the problem. It was because I was always the person that they knew that they could call, and I would come help. So my mom says all this to the people, and they're like, yeah, we need to hear it from her though. So she's like, okay. We scheduled a time that we're gonna call them, and then we ended up calling them. And I basically told them that my mom was with me. Is it okay that she speaks for me when I need to word something in a certain way and stuff like that? So I basically complained to HR, and then it went to the person above him, and basically they compensated me for some days. Like I got a lot of money, one check. Like it was like almost $1,000. So they basically paid me over. They paid me over what I should have been paid. And I feel like they were just paying me off so I could shut up. That's what I honestly feel like. And I feel like that the money that they paid me for the hard time that he gave me wasn't enough. And I just felt like, and I said this to Hilda, I feel like that they were trying to pay me off because my aunt died, and it was just not fitting in their schedule since she passed away, and it wasn't working with their schedule. Because I told him, I said, I feel like my aunt's death is very inconvenient for you. Sorry. And then I walked away, and that made him feel like crap. So, yeah, so before his boss and him agreed that they were going to give me money, even for the days that I didn't work, he was trying to be my friend and stuff like that, and trying to talk to me. He wanted to apologize to my family because he realized that it was very out of line for him to say what he said, and he just felt so bad all of a sudden because it went to HR. But I feel like if it didn't go to HR, he wouldn't have gave two I'm sorry to say it, but he wouldn't have. And it just made me so mad, because it was just like, there were so many times that I canceled on my aunt because I had to work. So it was just like, I didn't want to blame that job for me not spending time with her, but I feel like times when I could have been with her, it was because of you guys, because I kept saying I could come in even when I had off. Like, that's what pissed me off. And then you're over here saying that I need to tell my family that I can't take off. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, he was trying to apologize to my family and stuff like that. He was like, and then there was this one day where he made me call my mom. I don't know exactly word for word what they were speaking about, but he was like, yeah, is this Miss Dada? And she was like, yeah, this is Shayla's mom. Who is this? And he was like, yeah, I'm her manager. And then they started talking, and then they started getting a line, so I had to help up with the line. So he was on the phone with her, and I was just helping with the line. I came back up. And then when I got back on the phone with my mom was like, basically, Shayla, you need to give this guy a chance because he really seems sincere, and he really seems like he's sorry about this whole thing and that he feels so bad about it. So just give him a chance, okay? But one thing about me and my mom knows is, if you make me feel any type of way, if you make me feel sad, upset, or something like that, and you're not anybody I owe loyalty to, or you're not family, it's just done for you. Like, I'm not about to waste my time and try to be your friend. I'm gonna respect you because you're in my everyday life, yes, but no, we can't be friends, sorry. So, yeah, I was just like, okay, because I didn't want him to understand what she was saying to me, basically. So I was like, okay. So then we sat, and he was like, is there any way I can make up for this? Like, I'm so sorry. And I'm just like, no, there can't be. He's like, I'll buy you a ticket so you could go see your family, and it could be enough for you, your mom, and your sister, so you guys can go with your family. I was like, no, because now I feel like you're paying me off because my aunt passed away. Like, that's not gonna bring her back. That's not gonna make my family happy. Like, you already gave me a hard time about it, so it got canceled. Like, we basically told him, yeah, there's no point because it's so last minute, like, that nobody really had the money for it. So, like, we just canceled it, especially since he told me that I couldn't go. So it just got canceled. That little fly. So, yeah. So I'm just like, you just ruined everything. Like, I really felt like he ruined everything. And I was annoyed, and I was just fed up. Because I'm like, I'm one of the best workers you have. I'm one of the hardest. That's freaking Nat. What the heck? I'm one of the hardest workers that you have. And yet you're doing this to me. And what you're doing isn't even, like, humane. Like, you don't do that to somebody who just lost somebody. But okay. But, yeah, so he was saying all that, doing all that, trying to say sorry. And then he ended up saying, I'm just going to pay you. I'm just going to pay you. So him and his boss talked, and they basically gave me, like, a lot of money. And I told my mom, I felt like this isn't right, because at the end of the day, I still feel the same. Like, this didn't help anything. Like, I still went through what I went through just because I was trying to take off to mourn. Like, that's not right. And I was very upset about that. And I don't understand how you as a person, like, as a human being, you can act the way you were acting towards somebody after somebody had passed away. And then that's why I was working. I ended up, like, stopped working there by February of this year, 2020. So I wasn't working there anymore. But then after I leave, they tell me that one of his parents was sick or something like that. So then he took off for, like, such and such days and this and that. And he basically made it a big deal. So I'm just like, so the world stops for you because you're a manager, right? But your coworkers, or not even your coworkers, your workers, you can't, I don't know, like, it's like he had no remorse for everybody else. It was just, this is a business, you need to come in here, you need to be here at this time. It wasn't about anybody's feelings or anything, like. And there was so many times that I had to stop working, and I was crying my eyes out. Like, I probably called my mom, like, one time after my aunt had passed away, because sometimes I would, like, smell her scent in the store, and I'd break down into tears, like, could not function, just tears. And then sometimes, like, people be like, how are you doing? Like, I'll be at the register, I'll be like, hello, how are you today? And they'll be like, I'm well, how about you? How are you today? I'm just like, how am I? I just start crying. Like, it's not even funny, but I was an emotional wreck. And it's just like, that shows that I should have got more time off. But, like, I don't know, like, I would never want anybody to work there or work with that manager ever, especially after what I went through. I was just like, no, like, I can't. Because after that happened, I was kind of fed up with the store. I was fed up with my job. I didn't like my job anymore after that happened, because it was just like, I just felt like they didn't care about anybody, so why should I care about the job? Because that makes no sense. Like, how are you gonna not care about your employees when we're the ones that make things happen? And it took him talking to my mom to understand how close my aunt was to me. And oh my gosh, he thought I was lying. Because he asked Hilda. And yes, Hilda was, like, the closest person to me at that job. But I didn't tell her, and I didn't tell anybody at the job because I didn't know how to say it. Like, I was still in disbelief that she had passed away. So he asked Hilda, like, oh, did Shayla's aunt pass away? And she was like, I don't know. So then she ended up calling me and texting me, like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Such and such said that your aunt passed away. Are you okay? I'm just like, I'm not okay, but I'll, like, be okay eventually, I guess. And it seemed like he was trying to make it seem like I was lying, but it was just like, I don't want to keep talking about it. Like, I just wanted to get past it, because it was just, like, one of the worst times in my freaking life. And I feel like he just made it even worse. Like, but, like, I really didn't want anybody working there or having to deal with something like that. So I was just like, he is, like, the worst manager you could ever ask for, because that was selfish. That was inhumane. I feel like he wasn't empathetic at all. Like, you're a freaking point blank. But whatever. Like I said, I'm not gonna say the name of the company because I do not want to get sued, even though I should sue them or him or whatever, like, in my opinion. But yeah, that was probably like the worst manager working experience I ever had, ever. And I only had that one job ever, and I have a new job, and they work with me, so I'm very grateful. But I wouldn't wish that on anybody, especially if somebody in your family that you really, really, really love and was really, really close to passed away. No matter if it's aunt, uncle, brother, sister, mom, dad, I don't care. I feel like if somebody's family passed away, family member passed away, and they're telling you that they need time off, they need that time off. But that was it. I don't know what made me think of doing this video, but I was like, yeah, I need to get this off my chest because I've been holding it in. And I kind of want to say the place because that place that I worked at, it overworks people. It underpays people because the stuff that you go through in that job, you should get paid more. And the things that you have to do to satisfy customers, you definitely should get paid more. But that's a whole different story. If you guys want more story times about that place I used to work at, please let me know because now I don't work there, so they could get bashed. But yeah, that's all for the story. If you like this story time, please give me a thumbs up, a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, if you like my channel, if you like this content. And this wig, oh my gosh, I have a new video coming out very, very soon of me doing another wig because I have, you know, a little curly one coming. So keep watching for that video. And I'm sick, and I still gave you guys a video. Like, who don't know? Still gave you guys a video. But yeah, that's all for this video, guys. I'm out.